Before I begin, let me just say one thing: you all watch the videos, enjoy them, and even wait for the next part. But most of you never subscribe. Please do it now, because it's your one click that keeps me going. His venom, her obsession. The storm outside raged, but inside the Viri mansion, silence was louder than thunder. Leonardo sat in his dim study, cigar smoke twisting in the air, his sharp jaw shadowed by the flickering light. He ruled the city with fear. He broke men for sport. And yet, the one thing he couldn't break was standing right in front of him. Selena Marquez. Her black satin dress clung to her curves, dripping with rain. She didn't knock when she entered. She never did. She thrived on his fury, fed off the danger. Her lips curved into that sinful smirk that made his blood heat. "You again," Leonardo muttered darkly, rising from his chair. "Do you want me to kill you, Selena? Is that it?" She stepped closer, heels clicking on the marble floor, her eyes never leaving his. Asterisk. "Kill me? No, Leo. You want me too much for that." His hand shot forward, gripping her throat, not enough to choke, just enough to make her breath catch. His eyes burned into hers, wild and dangerous. "You're playing with something you don't understand," he growled. Selena tilted her head, smiling even as his grip tightened. "I understand perfectly. You're fire. I'm gasoline. Together, we're an inferno." He hated her arrogance. He hated her defiance. But most of all, he hated the way his body betrayed him every time she was near. With a violent move, he slammed her against the wall, pinning her wrists above her head. Her dress rode up her thigh, and his eyes darkened. "You think you can tame me, Strager?" He hissed in her ear. She arched against him, whispering, "I don't want to tame you, Leo. I want to watch you lose yourself." That was it. His control snapped. His lips crashed against hers, bruising, claiming, devouring. It wasn't a kiss, it was war. His hands roamed her body with ruthless possession, as if daring her to defy him further. She moaned against his mouth, pulling his hair, biting his lip until it bled. And he liked it. He liked her rebellion. Leonardo dragged her onto his desk, sweeping everything off with one hand, lifting her onto it with a force that made her gasp. The papers, the glass, the gun all clattered to the floor. His hands slid up her thigh, gripping her as if he owned every inch of her. "Say it," he demanded, voice rough. "Say you're mine." Selena's lips curved, her breath ragged, eyes wild. "I'll never belong to you, but you'll always burn for me." That single line set him ablaze. His mouth trailed down her neck, biting, marking, worshipping and punishing all at once. She clawed at his shirt, ripping the buttons open, exposing the tattoos inked across his chest. It wasn't love. It wasn't gentle. It was an obsession. A dangerous ritual between two souls addicted to chaos. He wanted to consume her, destroy her, cage her. She wanted to be ruined, worshipped, and burned alive in his madness. The storm outside grew wilder, lightning flashing through the windows, as if the heavens themselves watched their sinful dance. And somewhere deep down, Leonardo knew this wasn't just lust. This was a cult, a devotion, a religion built only around her. Selena wasn't just a woman. She was his curse. And he was her venom. His venom, her obsession. The storm didn't stop that night, and neither did they. His hands roamed like they were mapping a land he already owned, her nails dragging down his back until his skin burned. It was a war and a worship, destruction disguised as desire. But when dawn broke through the curtains, reality returned with a cruel reminder. Leonardo Viri was not a man who loved. He was a man who conquered. Selena lay tangled in the sheets of his bed, Her hair spread like wildfire across his pillow. She smirked, satisfied, watching him pull his shirt back on. Asterisk. Leaving me already, Leo? She teased, her voice husky. He shot her a dark look. Asterisk. Don't act like this means anything. Last night was a mistake. Selena rose slowly, the silk sheet slipping down her bare shoulders, revealing bruises and marks he'd left on her skin like sinful tattoos. She touched one, smiling devilishly. Asterisk. Funny. For a mistake, you marked me like your property. He clenched his fists. She was right, and that infuriated him. No woman dared talk back to him. No woman made him lose control. Except her. Always her. The cult of fire. A week later, rumors spread. Whispers inside the underworld claimed Selena had been spotted with a rival syndicate.com. Leonardo's rage was volcanic. He stormed into his meeting hall, his men trembling as his voice thundered. Asterisk, find her. Bring her to me alive. When Selena was dragged before him that night, she was fearless as ever, her wrists bound, her dress torn slightly from the struggle, but her eyes glittered with victory. So dramatic, Leo, she purred. Asterisk. You send an army just for me? He strode forward, grabbing her face in his hand. Asterisk. You think I'll let you mock me in front of my enemies? You think I'll let you walk into my world, my bed, and betray me? Her lips brushed his palm as she whispered. Asterisk. I'm not betraying you. I'm testing you. I wanted to see how far you'd go, how much you'd bleed for me. That broke him. His anger twisted into something darker, almost holy. He dragged her to the center of the room where his men watched silently. Look at her, he growled to them. Asterisk. This woman thinks she's untouchable, that I can't break her. Tonight I prove her wrong. Selena didn't flinch. Instead, she tilted her head back, exposing her throat, her voice a dare. Asterisk. Do it then. Break me, Leo. Show them all I belong to no one, except the fire we create. It was madness. Dangerous. Almost cult-like. But Leonardo's men lowered their eyes because they could feel it too. Whatever this bond was, it was no ordinary passion. It was ritual, a poison binding them tighter with every clash. The blood oath. Later that night, when they were alone again, Leonardo slammed a knife into the table beside her. The blade quivered, sharp and waiting. Asterisk. If you want to play with fire, Selena, then you'll burn with me. Tonight, you make a choice. He sliced his own palm, crimson dripping onto the wood. His eyes burned into hers. Asterisk. Swear yourself to me in blood. Not as a lover, not as a woman, as mine. Asterisk. Selena's heart pounded. Most women would have run, but she leaned forward, took the knife, and sliced her own palm, letting her blood fall into his. She laced her fingers through his, their wounds pressed together, the blood binding them in a vow older than any marriage. I swear, she whispered, her voice trembling with desire and defiance. Asterisk. To burn with you, to bleed with you, to never bow, even if it kills me. Leonardo's lips crashed onto hers, tasting iron and sin, sealing the oath. That night, it wasn't just lust. It wasn't just obsession. It was a cult born between two sinners. Her obsession, his venom. A religion where destruction was devotion, and love was the most dangerous sin of all. His venom, her obsession. The blood oath changed everything. Leonardo had women before countless, forgettable faces who craved his power. But Selena wasn't like them. She wasn't soft. She wasn't fragile. She was a storm disguised as a woman, and now her blood was tangled with his. From that night, she became untouchable in his empire. His men feared her almost as much as they feared him. She wasn't his mistress. She wasn't his queen. She was something more dangerous. His obsession. But obsession had a price. The betrayal. One night, while Leonardo was away handling business at the docks, word reached him that Selena was seen with Emilio Costa, his deadliest rival. Rage consumed him. He abandoned the meeting, storming back to his mansion, fury radiating from every step. When he burst through the doors, Selena was waiting, sitting on his throne-like chair, legs crossed, a glass of red wine in her hand. "You've been busy," Leonardo hissed. Selena raised a brow, sipping slowly. Asterisk, you mean Emilio? He only wanted a conversation. He seized her arm, yanking her up so hard the glass shattered to the floor. Conversation. Don't play games with me, Strager. You are mine. Mine to protect, mine to ruin, mine to worship. And if I even smell betrayal. Selena pressed a finger to his lips, daring, reckless. Then destroy me, Leo. Tear me apart. Isn't that what you crave? His fury burned, but her defiance set him on fire. He slammed her against the throne, his mouth crushing hers in a violent kiss. His hand slid around her throat as he whispered darkly, Asterisk, one day your games will cost you your life. Her lips curved. Then make sure you're the one who takes it. The war. 2 weeks later, Leonardo's empire was ambushed. Gunfire in the night. His warehouses set ablaze. Someone had betrayed him from the inside. And all signs pointed to Selena. When his men dragged her to him, her wrists tied, her red dress stained with smoke and blood, Leonardo's chest ached with something he refused to name. Tell me it wasn't you, he demanded, his voice cracking like thunder. Selena's eyes glistened, not with fear, but with something softer, almost painful. Asterisk, if it was, would you still keep me, Leo? His grip shook as he pressed a gun under her chin. His empire was falling apart, his enemies circling closer, but all he could see was her. Asterisk, you think I won't pull this trigger? He snarled. She leaned into the barrel, her lips brushing it, whispering, Asterisk, do it. Because if you kill me, I'll still haunt you. You'll still burn for me, even in hell. His hand trembled. For the first time in his life, Leonardo Veri, the man who killed without blinking, couldn't pull the trigger. Instead, he dropped the gun, grabbed her face, and kissed her like a dying man. Desperate, brutal, worshipful. The climax. The final battle came fast. Costa's men stormed the mansion. Blood, bullets, fire. The empire shook. Leonardo fought like a beast, taking lives without mercy, all to reach her. Selena stood in the chaos, fearless as ever, firing a gun in her heels, laughing like death itself couldn't touch her. At one point, a bullet grazed her arm. Leonardo saw red. He pulled her behind him, shielding her with his own body, roaring at his men to cover them. When the smoke cleared, Costa was dead. The city was theirs again. But Leonardo's hands were still on her, clutching her like she was the only thing left in the world. You almost died, he growled, his forehead pressed to hers. Selena smiled through blood and smoke, her hand sliding over his chest. Asterisk, so did you? Maybe that's the point, Leo. Maybe we're not meant to live. Maybe we're meant to burn together. He kissed her then, hard and raw, in the ruins of their war. Not as a man who won. Not as a mafia king, but as a sinner who finally found his religion. Because Selena wasn't just a woman. She was his cult, his poison, his salvation and his damnation. And he was her venom, forever bound in obsession. So hey, my cute little baddies, tell me in the comments which part really gives you butterflies. It'll really give me